Alright, hey there guys, Tom here with another ChessBase video. We're going to start going into some videos where we look at position searches, some of the most powerful features of ChessBase. This is going to be some fun stuff. We're going to start with the way, and by the way, there's many ways to do position searches in ChessBase, so that's why I say we're going to do this over a series of videos. We're going to start with, I guess, one way you'd call it, and that is basically just opening up a board, entering in a position, and seeing some statistics on what the next moves are being played and such, and that's where we'll get started. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to make sure that your database is set to be a reference database that you're using. So we talked about this, I think, in a quick tip video a few days ago. But just to show you and refresh your memory, you're going to right-click on the database you want to use. In this case, I want to use my Mega Database 2019. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click on that and go to Properties. And just make sure that reference database is checked here. And that means that ChessBase will use that database as the default database to search during any type of functions where it needs to search. Okay. Hit OK out of that. And it resized my icon. So I don't want that. I want huge icons. So I'm going to click on huge. There we go. Now, so what we're going to do is just basically click on that once, then we're going to open up our board here, which opens up a new control board. And right here, just notice up here we have our notation pane, and we're going to be using that in a few minutes. But what I'm going to start doing here is just start entering in a game I'd want to look into. So let's say I just enter in a few moves. Okay, so we'll start with that, and I'm pretty sure that this is an opening that happens fairly often in chess, right? This would be, what would this be, a Roy Lopez? I'm still getting my openings down, but so you'd start by entering that, and then what you want to do is come over here and enter your reference pane, and it's going to search through your database for all games that started in this position. And by the way, it's not looking at the order of moves. It's just looking at all games where this position was found and it's black to move, okay? And it's going to come up with all these nice statistics for you about what the next move was played. So we have here which next move was played. We have the number of games that move was played in. We have the score from White's perspective. So the higher the percentage means that White was doing better by that move, and vice versa. If the score is less than 50%, then it would mean that black was doing better. There's a way to change that, and I'll show you in a little bit in a different video. But for right now, this score by default is from White's perspective. Now, the last played, of course, is pretty self-explanatory. That's when the game was last played. Hot. I'm not sure what the hot is supposed to be showing you. I'm going to have to look into that. And then best players obviously goes by the ELO of those players, and just gives you what players were playing the game that had the highest ELO. Okay. You have in this pane, you have variation. You have your popularity graph, and then it gives you what type of endgames this position leads to. So just a ton of useful information. And then down here is your actual list of games where that appeared, and then it shows in each game the sequence of moves following the position that you're in. Okay, and a useful thing here is it gives the result of the game, so you can see, sort of get an overview of whether or not White, you can sort this list and see whether or not White did better, Black did better, from a high level overview. Or, like I said, you can use this score percentage here to get a better idea. Okay, so there you go, guys. Just a quick way to do a position search. And if you notice, if I keep going here, so let's say I just enter in some random moves. So I'm going to take the next move, the next most popular move here. So let's say I take A6, right? Then it's going to go and crunch its numbers again. And it'll give me the next move, most popular move for White, and on down from there. And then you'll notice, if you keep going, eventually it's going to be what we call out of book, meaning the computer will not recognize the position anymore. It's a new position, and you're basically you're searching in new chess frontiers at that point. So what should I do next? Let's take one of these uncommon moves. Let's do a knight c3. Now it's going to crunch the numbers again, and we'll see it's going to come up with a lot less games, and it's going to take a little longer to search. There you go. Only a few games left that the computer knows about. And again, this is a database. I believe the mega database is around 7 million games. And as we do these position searches, guys, you're going to notice that you'd think that you'd find more positions in this database than you do. A lot of people, they think that when you start searching for any position, it just seems, because the board is so small, it sort of tricks you into an illusion that all these positions have been played before. But in reality, you're going to find that if you get into a late opening or a middle game or an early end game, a lot of these positions are not going to be found in the database, guys. They're just not. Like, these are games, this is a game that is almost infinitely complex as far as the number of positions you can have in it. And it's going to be slightly humbling in the fact that you think you know that certain positions, or you think certain positions were played, and in fact they have not. So it's going to be fun to sort of discover that. I urge you to just play around, find different games that you're interested in, and check on those positions in this board control window, and you're going to find out some cool stuff about those games. You can also use this to check in your own games, and if you have a hunch, if you're annotating one of your own games and you have a hunch of where you think things went wrong, you can use this to sort of see if that was the case. Take the game up to the point where that game sort of got away from you, and then you can step through and see at what move the game did get away from you. You can see where you made that wrong move. Okay, so I'll just go a couple more moves here. So let me go knight f6 for black, and it's probably going to come up with, oh, so now you can see we had a transposition, so now it's back to a position that is more familiar with. Okay. And like I said before, it doesn't search through the sequence of moves for this. It searches for the actual position. So now we're in another position that's more familiar with the computer. So let me take another less popular move. So let's do bishop takes a6. And by the way, guys, you just saw I clicked on that, and that will perform the move for you. Okay? Searching, searching, searching. And here, it comes up with one game. And I'm going to actually perform that move by clicking on this. Rook takes a6. And then we'll see what happens. Okay, we still have one game. Let's do knight takes e5. No, let's do a move that's not here, and we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to do a random move for white. Let's go ahead and threaten this knight. See where it comes up with. You'll notice as you get deeper into these games, guys, your computer is going to be working harder and harder to find these positions because it's got more to search through. And then you get this message: not enough recent Grandmaster games. So there you go. I mean, now you're in unknown territory for now, at least. If I make a few more moves, it might hit upon a position that it knows. Most likely it won't. And away you go. This is tremendously useful to look through your own games or to just look through popular games, historical games. It's really fun and useful. So get out in there, go in there and play with it, guys. Have fun. And in the next video, I think we're going to start looking at, let me exit out of here. I don't want to save that. And I think in the next video, we're going to start looking at a different type of position search where we use the search filter. And we're going to start looking at this window here, which is also tremendously useful. This is great to use for if you're looking at positions in the magazines, books, training manuals, anything like that. This is a great tool to use. And we'll start diving into this video, diving into this position search in the next video. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited about this channel. I want to sort of make it the go-to channel for ChessBase and ChessBase learning. So please hit the like button. It helps me out tremendously. And subscribe if you think you're going to get any value out of this channel. I'm really trying to be as good as I can with this to help you guys out. And I know when I started with ChessBase, it was like just a dizzying whirlwind. I had kind of no clue what to do, and you sort of just stumbling around in the dark. So they do have a manual out and things like that, but it really helps to have these videos. So I'm hoping these videos become that for you guys. There's also a great channel out there called USCFSales. If you search that in YouTube, you'll find a channel with a guy named Steve Lopez. I think I mentioned this before, but he did a series of videos on ChessBase 11 back in, I think, 2011 or 2012. A really helpful series of videos that I'm sort of basing my videos off of, at least in the beginning. And if you go and search for those videos, you'll find a ton of useful information from him, too. He's really great at what he does, and he will help you out tremendously, believe me. So go ahead and check those videos out, too. He also has a blog. If you go to uscfsales.wordpress.com, I'll put those links in the description, and that'll help you out, too. He has a bunch of good blog posts on the same issues. So I know I started rambling there for a little bit, guys, but please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're going to get value. And thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next video.